Hey students, Armando here and welcome to topic 4. Now I'm going to walk you through everything that you need to know for topic 4 to be successful. And also as a reminder, at the end of this video, I'm going to be showing you a sample paper that's going to connect to one of the assignments that is due in topic 4. And again, you can see it on the screen. In topic 4, you have multiple midterm exams to take. I'm going to break it down and give you some pointers as well. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump into topic 4. Okay, so let me grab my tool here. So this is everything that's required of you in topic 4. But as you know by now, I like to go in through this area right over here, right, where we can find all of the topics because you get more information. So let's click on topic 4. And again, I'm just going to kind of breeze through this area. You already are familiar with the 2 mandatory discussion questions that you have to fill out. I'm going to get back to the survey in just a minute. Then we have 2 components of the midterm exam. And then again, a reminder for your participation, you must have at least 6 peer replies and posting in the course at least 3 days out of the week for you to maximize those points. And then again, as a reminder, your resources over here on the right-hand side provide you that content that you will need not only for topic 4, but that you can use for any other topic as well, or for any of your papers that you need to complete. So I'm going to get back with the survey, but I'm going to start with the midterm exam. Let me show you a couple of things that are very important. So let's start with this midterm exam. It is timed. It's worth 80 points, okay? This exam is going to cover material from topics 1 through 4. It's 40 questions. It can last up to 50 minutes. This is what you need to know. You only get 1 attempt to complete that exam. So before you even think about taking the exam, you need to make sure that you are in a quiet place. You have no distractions. Your internet is good, because once you open the exam, you own it. Okay? There's no way I can validate you retaking the exam. So again, hasn't been a problem, but I just wanted to let you know again that you need to be ready to take this exam. I would not take this at the beginning of the week. I would try to push this as far back as you can to find that quiet space because you have 2 components of the exam. Now, for this short answer exam, this is worth 20 points. And really, everyone should max out these points here in case you don't do that well on the top midterm exam part. Okay, so again, topics 1 through 4, these are short answers. But please read this. The answers should be a minimum of 4 sentences long. I still get students submitting 2 or 3 sentences, and you're not going to get full credit for that. 2 questions. 25 minutes, you only have 1 attempt. So what's the key to being successful for that here? Let me kind of go back on camera here for just a minute so that you can see me speaking to you. So you're successful in this short answer portion if you do a couple of things. Number 1 is you write more than 4 sentences, right? You include research in your content, and you use all of that information that you have to write as much as possible, right? So the more content that you provide, the more apt I am to give you full credit because you met the 4 sentences. You have research to connect to what you're doing. So there's only 2 questions. Okay, so if you can kind of keep that in mind, you have access to your computer, you have access to your sources, write decent content so you can maximize these 20 points. And I can almost tell you that if you write, 5, 6 sentences and you have research embedded, you have some in-text citations giving credit, you're going to max out these 20 points. Okay? So that's one area to think about. So let me go ahead and go back off camera here. So now we covered that. And so lastly, I want to go over this reflection paper that you need to submit. So a couple things that you need to know. Okay? You can use your value survey that you took back in week 2. That's where you should be getting these values from. Okay? It's going to be 500 words or more. I do not cap you at 750, okay? And then what you need to know is, again, your reflection should include these points right here. Now, you do not want to write this question or this point here in your paper and then write about it. Just for example, if the identification and explanation of your top 3 instrumental values, you're going to see that in the rubric, right? That could be your title, and then you just write about it. So some students lately have been writing kind of like the assignment questions or the bullet points, and then they do a space and then they write underneath it. No, use it as a title or a header, but abbreviate this title, because if not, it's an exact word match and it raises your Lopes Right score. Okay? So maybe put explanation of my top 3 instrumental values, and then you write your content underneath. Okay? So all of this needs to be answered in your reflection paper. So again, it's 500 words or more. So you're going to keep these brief, but you're going to make sure that you cover all of this so that you maximize your points. Okay? I want you to read this section right here. All content sections needs to have supporting citations. So what does that mean? It means that every paragraph that you write, you need to have an in-text citation. Right? You need to give credit. You rather over in-text citation than to under in-text citation and bring up the plagiarism red flag. Okay? APA is required. So what does that mean? You need an APA title page by itself. You need to have your pages numbered. You need to have headers. You need to have proper spacing. And then you need to have a reference page separate as well. And I'll show you that in just a minute on the sample paper. This uses a rubric. A rubric is a great place to look at how you're going to be scored. Open that rubric up, look at the content sections, and ask yourself, did I meet the max in these sections? Okay? You need Lopes Right. Again, as a reminder, you should really be getting this report back before you submit your final paper. If you see a high similarity score, if you see a high quoted text score, do not submit your paper as your final paper. Go back, okay, and review your assignment. Make the changes. Your score on this assignment should pretty much be between 0 and 1%. Okay, on all assignments, but especially on this one. That's what you're striving for on your similarity index. That means that your work is original. Even though you took reference information here and you read some content here, you took this and you put it in your own words, but you still gave credit to where you got it. You took something from here and you put it in your own words, but you still gave credit to the author. That's what good writing is all about. Okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and transition and show you a sample paper assignment. Okay, and before showing you this sample paper, again, let me remind you that I want you to look at the content and how it was delivered. I want you to look at the formatting of the paper, right? You cannot use any content that you see on any of these sample paper videos, but these sample paper videos should turn on the light bulb and say, wow, if that student received a perfect score, then my paper needs to look exactly like that student. The only difference is that your content is going to be original in nature. Okay? So that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the sample paper. Okay, so let's dive into this reflection paper. Let's start with a strong APA title page. Again, as a reminder, the APA title page is on a page by itself there. Again, you would plug in your name there. If your title page looks like this, I'm just going to continue scrolling through it and tell you, nice job. There's the page number as required. As we go down, okay, again, you should be looking at the formatting of this assignment. Again, you see the page numbers, which should continue for every page. And then you see that the student opens up with a strong, bolded title, okay, a good header right there. And then again, begins to meet the needs of the in-text citations in every content section. Then this student started with their instrumental values. And again, you are referring back to that PDF that you previously completed, and you're choosing the top 3 in both of the categories. Now you're going into the content here. Again, look at the layout. Again, proof of sources in every content section, right? And then now they went ahead and used a subheader. Okay, and why and what is a subheader? Because they're still talking about instrumental values. So it's a subheader off to the left because they're still talking about the main point, which is their instrumental values. Okay, and again, if you look at the rubric, you're going to see these different content sections. Again, there's more source information there. Now, they're still talking about instrumental values. That's why there's another subheader, but now it's the values and leadership. Again, you can just see the continuous use of in-text citations. So this student will never get flagged for plagiarism because they are over in-texting where they got the information from. Then they go back to a main header. Why? Because now we're switching gears. We're switching topics. Now the student is going to focus in on terminal values, right? Now you begin to see here how the student continues to use in-text citations in every content section as required. Why do we have another subheader here? Because they're still talking about terminal values, right, which aligns to the main header up on the top of this section. So by now you can kind of see the feel of the content. Main header, subheaders are just kind of like a 1A and a 1B of that number one, right? You can see the use of in-text citations over and over. Plagiarism will never become an issue. And then just like any other good paper, they go back to a main header to talk about their conclusion, okay? And they write their conclusion, and then they go into a reference page. Now, if you notice, right, the reference page did not start here. The reference page has its own page, okay? There's the corresponding page number, and then you can see that the references are properly formatted, right? The margin is to the left, then we're 6 spaces over on each of these subsequent lines, and then everything is in alphabetical order, okay? So that's the way you want your reference page to look like when you submit your paper. If your reference page does not look like this, you are probably going to lose some points because it's probably not APA formatted correctly. Okay, so I hope you got some value on this video, especially watching another sample paper. And again, I wish more of my colleagues did the same, but again, this is what you will get from me for every assignment that you have. So you had a chance to look at the content. If you can focus on delivering a paper that looks like the sample paper, then you are about, almost there. All we have to do now is make sure that your content is original, and please do not cut and paste. Do not plagiarize your work. Take the extra time to read a piece of literature, read something from a website or wherever your sources are coming from, and convey that in your own words, but yet still give credit to where that information originated from. So if you got some value on this video, how you can help me out is just definitely go down below, hit that little like button, regardless of where you're watching this video, whether you're on YouTube and you subscribe or you're on another platform and you follow. I'll continue to give you content, whether you're in my class or not, because hopefully this can help other students as well. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. And if you have any questions and you are in my class, you can definitely drop a message in the message tab or in the class questions so that everyone can benefit from your question as well. Thanks for watching and have a great day.